Purity is your power, Virgo. And this solar eclipse in Virgo right now, taking place in about 2 hours, is a reminder of that. As your gut, because Virgo rules the gut, is literally being eclipsed. That's what's taking place right now. Every single sign rules a certain part of the body. Pisces rules the feet, Aquarius the shins, Capricorn the kneecaps, Sagittarius the thighs, Scorpio the sexual organs, Libra the kidneys. Virgo rules the gut. This is the second new moon in Virgo on a solar eclipse, with Venus now in Virgo as well. Thank God she's there. We got some beautiful sextiles and trines going on. I'm redoing this live. I talked about those sextiles and trines, but I want this to be a little more clean for when I post it. And I was looking for another picture for too long. That being said, we have this solar eclipse in Virgo taking place today, number 1. The equinox is tomorrow, number 2. But it's very interesting that I find that they're doing this CKirk memorial on a solar eclipse in Virgo. And let's look at it. When we look at Charlie's chart, and this is the time of the event, September 10th, when whatever happened. Whether that was an assassination, an execution, a homicide, however you want to label whatever happened. And we can go down those rabbit holes another time. But regardless, when you're looking at Charlie's chart, what you see is Sagittarius on the AC. Now, in whole sign houses, anyone with Sagittarius on the AC, you're going to have Virgo in the 10th house. And here we can see Virgo's in the 10th house. That's very, very interesting. It's very interesting that he has Chiron in Virgo in his birth chart. Number 1. Number 2, he has Venus in Virgo in his 10th house as well. Interesting that this is taking place right now as he would have been having his Venus return. But the 10th house, y'all, what does the 10th house rule? The 10th house rules the public image and career. Very interesting that there's a solar eclipse taking place today in Virgo, which would be in his public image and about an assassination during his career, or execution, or homicide, however we want to label that. Trust me, I've heard every conspiracy. Every single angle you're thinking of, you're going to tell me right now in the comments of what really happened, I've heard them all. I'm not getting into all that. I'm reading the astrology. And it lines up with the astrology. The day of the event, Mars, this is the day of the event, Mars was hanging out directly above his sun sign, his soul, his life force. Well, right now, Mars is getting ready to move out of Libra at the 29th degree of Libra right now, and back into its home in Scorpio. This is the chart of the moment. Keep in mind, Charlie's 10th house is Virgo. This is the second new moon in Virgo this month. It's on a solar eclipse, and it's during when he would have Venus also being in his 10th house. He would be having his Venus return. Now, on this solar eclipse, we got some beautiful things taking place. There's some tension, there's some opposition. We got Saturn and Neptune conjunct one another, right next to one another. In different signs, yes, but they're creating a whole lot of illusion with that conjunction, directly opposite the sun and the moon. Well, thank God that they are trining the God of heaven, or sextiling the God of heaven, Uranus, aka Uranus, aka Herschel, which is why this glyph looks like an H, because the astronomer who discovered Uranus was named Herschel. So they made a glyph after him, and they made it look like an H. Well, thank God that Uranus is sextiling Pluto, and then Pluto is trining Pluto, and then Pluto is also sextiling Saturn and Neptune, releasing some tension. You know, guys, Uranus is very explosive, likewise with Pluto. These are planetary bodies where when they move degrees, when they move signs, you feel it in the collective. You know, Pluto is the planet of explosion, you could say. But that doesn't mean that he's ready to explode today, right? There's a beautiful trine taking place with another planet of instability, Uranus, who is also, they are both trining both the sun and the moon, which are receiving oppositions from Saturn and Neptune. So embrace transformation to see through the illusion, because Saturn and Neptune are probably creating some type of illusion in your life right now. There's some type of illusion being delivered. Embrace transformation by uprooting fig trees that are no longer bearing fruit. If they're not bearing fruit, guess what they're doing? Taking up space for fig trees that could bear fruit in your life. And thank God we got the Messiah here. Come on, let me move it. There we go. Jupiter up in Cancer, protector of this realm, Thor. Thor. In Cancer, Cancer's on the rising sign of the Earth. It's like he's here. Also trining Saturn in Pisces. Thank God. Also trining the North Node in Pisces. Also trining Neptune in Aries. Thank God for these things. You see, guys, there's faded astrologers out there. There's glass half full astrologers out there. There's truthers out there that are only talking about Atlas 1B, and I don't even know if that's a proper name. They're only talking about the oppositions. They're only talking about the negative things in the heavens all the time. Everyone is always, so many people are always focused on the negative things. They're trying to make you think that, oh, this day is going to be the day that the event happens, and this is when it's all going to end. If you have never seen the movie Tomorrowland, I highly encourage you to all look into that movie and go watch it as soon as possible, even today if you can. George Clooney's in there. And humanity in this movie is going one of two ways. Either to a utopian reality or a dystopian reality. And you know what it's based on? It's based on the collective's belief system. If the collective's belief system is thinking that they're going to go to a dystopian reality, that's exactly what they manifest. If they believe that they're going to manifest a utopian reality, that's exactly what manifests. And that's exactly what manifests in our reality. This is why I do these lives. This is why I make the videos that I do. Because I try to show y'all opportunities where other astrologers or other truthers may be trying to show you a dead end. When in reality, what they're trying to do is hijack your attention so that you see them as a messiah so that you can follow them. Because they're not trying to empower you. They're really trying to disempower you by placing you into a state of fear. They want your worship. Which, by the way, no real leaders want worship. No real good leader desires worship. No. Real leaders don't desire for you to bend a knee to them. Real leaders do not desire for you to bow to them. That's not what real leaders do. What real leaders do is they desire for you to stand up straight, hold your chin up high, and attack the world with the best that you have to offer. Not bow down to them. So why would you ever think that some Messiah ever demands your worship if this Messiah is also supposed to be a leader? Real leaders do not disempower their people. Real leaders empower their people. That's what real leaders do. Dictators disempower people. Dictators create illusion. Dictators mislead people. Dictators cripple people so that they go to them. So that they always see them as source for leadership, for courage, for fuel. Contrary to teaching people how to go get their own fuel themselves. Contrary to teaching people how to be courageous themselves. Contrary to teaching people how to stand up on their own 2 feet. That's exactly what I'm trying to teach everybody watching this live and everybody watching this replay. Real leaders empower people, not disempower people. So ask yourself, if you are following a belief system that requires you to bend your knee to a Messiah, literally ask yourself, do you think that leader would require your worship? Or was that leader just trying to teach you a way to live, not a way to bow? Was this leader trying to teach you how to walk, or was this leader trying to teach you how to bow? Just use your own common sense here. You will do these things and greater, he said. It is written. You will do these things and greater. It is written. Ye are gods. The second coming of Christ is not the return of Christ consciousness. What it really is you men preserving your chrism, preserving your oil. Christos in the Greek translates to oil. There is a literal hormonal secretion that you secrete as the moon is stimulating this secretion by being in the same exact area of your body where the sun was the moment you were born. It's called the sacred secretion. This is an alchemical, anatomical process that takes place from inside the body. This is not mysticality. This is not theory. This is something that literally takes place. As we're watching the sun and the stars and the moon, as we're watching these turnings of the heavens, what they're really showing us are the turnings that are taking place inside of our body, because this is a body. This is Adam Kadmon. This is a being. This realm, you are bacteria. You walking around in this realm is similar to bacteria walking around on your arms. Is similar to bacteria walking around on the surface of your gut. This is a realm. This realm is a living being. Adam Kadmon. Which is why every single sign rules a certain part of the body, because it is a body. Called Adam Kadmon. As above, so below, on earth, as it is in heaven. That was some Sunday service for some of y'all. Real quick, back to it. Find it very interesting that this individual, CKirk, has Virgo in the 10th house. And they are doing this memorial for his life while there's a solar eclipse taking place today in Virgo at the 29th degree, which is where I believe Charlie had Venus, at the 29th degree in Virgo. He's also having his Venus return right now, as Venus is also in Virgo. It's not at the 29th degree, but it's there. I think it's at the 5th. And he was also born on a sun and moon conjunction in Libra. Of course, he was trying to create open debate and discussion for opposing sides to see eye to eye. Of course. It's very Libran. We're in the midst of eclipse season. There's an eclipse taking place in a little over an hour. We're in the midst of retrograde season, as the major planetary bodies are all retrograde. Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus, all retrograde. Thank God they are all talking to one another and encouraging one another and empowering one another. Thank God that's taking place. Because Pluto is trining Uranus, and they are both sextiling Saturn and Neptune. Absolutely, it influences you. Wherever Virgo is in your chart, that part of your chart is being eclipsed. Number one, that house is being eclipsed. What's the mode of that house? If you don't know the mode of that house, book a reading from me on my website. We can go over that mode and how it's directly affecting you. Regardless of the mode of the house, whether it's in your 10th house, your career, maybe it's in your 6th house, your house of service, maybe it's in your 8th house, your house of death, rebirth, and transformation, maybe it's in your 2nd house, you Leo risings, and it's all about your material possessions, and your material possessions are being eclipsed. Regardless of the house, what part of the body does Virgo rule? The gut. And if you haven't been feeling the inclination to be having a clean gut this week, you are out of tune. There are things that are not in sync currently in your body, because you should have been having the gut feeling to eclipse it yourself. Clean things up. Go sweep up the mess inside the gut, because Virgo rules the gut. But this pure virgin is pure. She's clean. The sign of service. The analytical sign. I'm a whole sign house astrologer, by the way. I don't do Placidus. It's unclear. While cosmology is included in Placidus, the astrologer could very easily just look at the AC and the DC and understand that as the line of the earth. Very simple. And when you follow perfection years make so much sense inside whole sign houses, but they make no sense in Placidus. I see this trine from Pluto and Uranus with the sextile to Saturn and Neptune, and I see revolution. But I also see positive revolution. I also see victory. I also see justice. I also see mercy. I also see a win and not a loss. Guys, I got Jupiter and Cancer in my birth chart. I'm a glass half full type astrologer. I just got this ridiculous amount of belief that it's all going to work out always, and it does. I have this absolutely impenetrable belief system inside. That doesn't mean that doubts never cross my mind, but I've learned to doubt my doubts before I doubt my beliefs. Because those doubts don't serve me. My beliefs serve me. I'm just watching this clip this morning of Doctor Strange. And the Sorcerer Supreme is teaching Doctor Strange how to open portals so that he can walk into a new reality. You know what it's all based on? Visualization. Once he has the finger thing, the little metal piece that he puts on his index and middle finger, it's entirely about visualization from there. All he has to do is visualize the space that he wants to open a portal to, and it opens. Life is the same way. Visualize yourself in that reality, and then the moment that you have that visualization taking place, guess what? Your brain is sending signals to the rest of your body telling yourself that you're there. Then your cells are vibrating at the frequency of you being there. Then your outer reality is trying to catch up with the inner reality. Because you've created that reality inside, outside has to catch up. That comes from belief. You know, these phones are absolute magic. We are all staring at each other right now, through a wand. If there wasn't silica and crystal quartz smashed and laid out all through your phone right now, there is no way that you would be able to see me. Silica and crystal quartz. Why do you think it's called Silicon Valley? Because they're using silica. Because this thing is a wand that you can create magic with. And it's a product of being in the age of Aquarius. Who's the ruler of Aquarius? Uranus. What's Uranus doing right now? Trining Pluto over in Aquarius in its home, giving all that power, all that energy, all that technological wisdom, all that heavenly astrological wisdom. What's the sign of astrology? Aquarius. Some could argue and say that it's Virgo because that's where Mercury is, the ruler of the messenger of the gods. And I can agree with that as well. Both the placement of Mercury in Virgo and the sign of Aquarius are astrological placements. Aquarius is etherical waters, not literal waters. These are waters of wisdom from the heavens. That's the water bearer, bearing waters of wisdom on earth. Waters of astrology, waters of technology, waters of a golden age. With whatever age that we're in, there's always going to be aspects of that opposite age. Our last true golden age was when we were in the age of Leo. That's when Egypt was at its peak. That was a golden age. That's when the Sphinx was built. The Sphinx was representative of them being in the age of Leo. We will build monuments in this time to commemorate the age of Aquarius, resembling a water bearer. It will be an equinoctial, solstitial marker. It will stand the test of time so that our ancestors 12,000 years from now remember us. Why will it stand the test of time? Because it will mark the turning point of time. It will mark the cross of Sol Invictus, Sun Undefeated. That's what Invictus means. Sol Invictus. means son undefeated. For all of you who are listening to the Simpsons narrative, you are just showing how much of a slow-mo pearl you are. What's a slow-mo pearl? It means you're naive and you are subject to predictive programming. That's why they show you it first, so that you think it's okay first, so that you just accept it if it happens. And so that you actually anticipate it. And so that you picture it and then it becomes a reality. What if you didn't listen to the simp sons because they're trying to make you a simp, not a god, not a goddess, not a king and a queen? They're trying to turn you into a simpleton by giving you simpleton type projections so that you manifest that reality because you think that will be normal. Oh, it's normal if they show it to me in cartoon version first. Oh, that's normal. I can accept that. That's predictive programming, y'all. Don't be a simpleton. Stop fucking watching Simpsons. Don't listen to the clips. Any of these podcast people who are trying to promote this stuff, laugh it off. Live your life. Live in the present moment. Prepare for tomorrow, yes. But stop trying to visualize this worst outcome possible. That's what creates it. What you need to visualize is the best outcome possible. If you have not yet read The Alchemist and or Celestine Prophecy, y'all need to read those books. Celestine Prophecy teaches you and shows you that the frequency state that you are in and visualizing shows you exactly that's what you manifest during times of change. It shows us that the Aztecs and the Mayans disappeared because they were fearless. And so while there were some certain people who were trying to kill them and get rid of them, get rid of their bloodline completely, because they were operating on a fearless frequency, they're literally invisible to them. You will become invisible to those who do not serve your highest purpose or those who do not have your best intention in mind the moment that you are operating on a fearless frequency contrary to a fearful frequency. That's when you become invisible to those who do not have your best interest in mind. The divine did not give you a spirit of fear and never demanded that you bow. Instead, he gave you 2 feet, 2 shins, kneecaps, and legs to stand up straight with. And may Pluto and Aquarius be that reminder for you to stand up straight. And stop being so lenient on the government. Stop being so lenient on your church. Stop being so lenient on someone else that you think is going to come save you. No one's coming to save you. Save yourself. May Uranus, with this trine from Uranus to Pluto, be literally giving you the power of fearlessness, the power of heavenly confidence, the God of heaven, Uranus, whom is beyond Saturn, representative of the firmament, representative of heaven itself. Be in a fearless frequency as you are going through this eclipse today, manifesting a new reality, entering equinox tomorrow, another portal for you to manifest a new reality. Be fearless, not fearful. You guys can book me for individual readings to find out how this solar eclipse is affecting your chart and in which mode it is affecting your chart. Is it in your second house of earthly possessions, your 10th house of career and public image, your 5th house of performance, creativity, and sex? Where is this eclipse eclipsing your life? We can find out if you book a reading on my site at vibetribe.com, VIB3TRIB3.com. The E's are threes, because it's about opening your third eye and realizing that your third eye is really your first eye, as well as having the 33 in there so that you remember to preserve your oil, contrary to wasting it, like many men are doing. I find it very interesting. This is taking place, the Charlie Kirk Memorial is taking place on a solar eclipse in Virgo, when he has Virgo in the 10th house. I find that very interesting. Very interesting. This is the chart of the moment, the chart of the day for right now. You overcome squares and the vices that come with them with the opposing virtue. You max out trines and sextiles by taking action when they present themselves. You know how to truly do this when you know which mode these places are these transits, these aspects are taking place in. And you know that mode when you know your houses. Sunday, 3-day, solar eclipse day. Y'all have a beautiful day. Peace.